And in our day and age, people are just looking to I want to actually have a husband. I want to find the person that if I have a stroke, you're taking care of me. Love is so underrated. Why don't people glorify the idea of actually being in a loving, gentle relationship that's reciprocal with give and take, knowing that you can depend on that person for anything and not being so like codependent or anything like that. Y'all run your independent lives, but you still love each other and you still respect each other. Why is that not the gold standard? Why is it got to be like, well, they didn't text back within 2 minutes, so I'm going to make them wait another few hours, and then we're just going to keep extending how long we have to text message each other until we just never speak to each other again. What?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
All right, Queen, so you obviously want to be married. Got it. Very clear on that. But you asked a question as to why can't there be loving and gentle relationships where people are going to take care of each other? Well, that's easy to answer. Because women, especially the womanist, strong and independent boss babe types, push to have family court laws be completely changed to screw over men. And after decades of men getting right through the coals of the divorce gauntlet, those men have decided, hey, I'm opting out. I'm not doing this again. And every other generation of men that came after them have all seen the destruction that divorce court does, have seen prenups get thrown out of court, have seen how much they have to lose after they work so hard. And they decide, hey, we're not doing this. So if you're going to ask why can't we have relationships like this anymore? Why aren't things the way they were 50, 60, 70 years ago? Well, that's real simple. You women have made it this way. You've designed it this way. It started with no-fault divorce in California, spread out to the rest of the country like a cancer, and the end result, which was supposed to make women happy, have actually made them more miserable than ever. They've tanked the marriage rate to the lowest rate that this country has ever had since the founding of the country. And go ahead, Queens. I don't have the latest and greatest statistical data. I know I saw the statistic from 4 years ago. Things may have changed, but I don't think they have. Either way, you queens got your liberation. Enjoy it. There's no takebacks. Men have decided that they're going to do two things. Live on their own and give you independent queens a tour of Pound Town every now and then. That's part of the studying and brave portion, right? Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on!
I went on the most horrific date. Okay? So, one weekend, I was laying in bed, and I had been talking to this guy for 2 days, okay? And he was like, hey, I'd like to take you to dinner. The humor was good, and I was like, okay, but I don't know, because I'm usually pretty tired when I get off work. And he's like, please just go on this date with me. And I'm like, okay. So the next day I got off work a little bit early and I went to go get a new outfit. I was like, oh, I haven't really been on an evening date in a while. I'm going to go get some leather pants and a cute top and go on this date. So he said, do you mind if I pick you up? And I'm from Houston, so the roads in Houston scare the shit out of me at night. I can't see very well. So I said, for this one occasion, I know what y'all are thinking, like, why did you let him pick you up? I don't know. But I felt like I should say yes because driving at night scares me in the city. And so he picks me up and I get in and he looks irritated. Okay. And I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, oh, the traffic was just bad, And I was like, oh, okay, well, he continues to talk about it. And I was like, hey, we're going on a date. We're not rushing. Let's just enjoy our time and don't stress. It's okay. And so he said, he looks over at me and he goes, so you got leather pants? I said, yes, I did. And he said, can I feel them? So awkwardly, I'm like, if it makes this night better and he's not so grumpy, then sure. So I was like, sure. And he's like, okay. So he reaches over and he feels a little too long. And so that was over. Okay, thankfully. And we're driving and we get to the restaurant. The date was good, right? We ate, the vibe was good. And he said, hey, I want to go get some dessert. And I said, oh, I know the perfect spot. There's this little place. It has a balcony, and they have really, really good cake. And so we left there. We go to the dessert place and we get our stuff and we're sitting out. It's a little chilly. We look out over the balcony and there's water and the mood is good. And we're talking and I was like, hey, I want to show you this video of me playing piano. And he was like, I can't hear it right now. It's too loud out here. Show me in the truck. And I was like, okay, no problem. All of a sudden, he said, hey, hypothetically, if someone were to pay you to see your boobs, how much would you charge? Because I have $20 in my pocket. And from then on, I was like, I would like you to take me home. And he's like, are you sure you don't want to hang out later? And I was like, nope, I think I'm tired. So we leave, we get in the truck, and the first thing he says is, you're going to go on a second date with me, right? And I was like, I don't know. At this point, I'm uncomfortable. Well, he asked me what's wrong, and I said, honestly, you made me uncomfortable, and I don't think it was very respectful of you to ask me if you could pay me to see my breast. I don't know if I'll get banned for saying words like that, but he says, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that either. I haven't diddled in 4 years. And that was his. So he proceeds to drive 10 miles an hour and a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit in my neighborhood. You bet your booty that I got to my house. I pretended like I went inside, and I left and went to my friend's house. So a couple nights later, he calls. I'm thinking that he's calling to apologize, right? The phone call consisted of, I'm having a boys' night, while I listened to him play Dungeons and Dragons with his buddy, and he said, hey, I'm sending you something. I get text messages of maps. And he said, I thought you would just be interested in seeing kind of how it works. And that is the last time I ever talked to him. Okay, have a good day.
All right, hey, fair point. She got her say in there, and I know that my female viewers would see this video and say, OMG, that was a most horrific date. It's one of the worst dates possible. And I chose this video specifically because I wanted to give an example of a woman's bad date. So, just to show how comfortable women have it in the West, especially in the US, one of the worst possible dates a woman could talk about is she went on a date with a geek with no game whatsoever, who plays Dungeons and Dragons, hasn't had some in 4 years, and he's so used to paying women in their OF accounts that he actually believes that women in real life are OF women. All right, Queens, let this gorilla just say it. Can that make you feel uncomfortable? Yes, but that is not a horrific date by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, I know that you Queens are going to say, here you go, you're going to attack her. I'm like, no, I'm just going to point out the obvious. All right, number one, if it was such a bad date, why'd she go on the date? Notice that this bad date that she's describing includes the guy who is just as uncomfortable as she is, driving at night, risks driving at night, comes and picks her up. That's number one. Number two, takes her to where she wants to go. After that first restaurant, which he probably paid for, she suggests, let's go to this other place that has her favorite desserts. They go there too. He pays for everything as well. So far, it's him doing everything and her just saying, oh, look, I got a video of me playing piano. And letting him touch her leather pants. Ooh, that was just terrible. Super horrible experience. Yeah, the experience that she consented to. Anyway, it continues on with the guy says, hey, I'll pay you $20 to see your boobs, which this girl would say that was probably one of the stupidest things that he could have said. But it's pretty evident to me that she felt that she really wasn't in danger the whole time. The guy was being creepy, but she did not feel that her life was being threatened. And before you women say, oh, gorilla, yes, she was. Really? Why'd she get back in the car with him? Why'd she say, take me home? If she felt that her life was in danger, she would have said, hey, I'm going to take an Uber home. This whole time, I want to say, she wasn't the only victim here. He was equally her victim. She's a resource vampire that showed right there, at that point, to the drive home that I'm going to go to my friend's house because she didn't want to spend the extra couple bucks on a ride share. Give me a break there, doll. This gorilla just suspects that you aren't this pretty little victim that you're trying to portray yourself. You're just trying to justify your actions. You're a resource vampire. He was just an inexperienced sucker that you were able to drain meal, dessert, drinks, and whatever out of. And then after that, you make this video to make yourself feel like the victim here. Oh, he made me feel uncomfortable because he wanted to see my boobs. Tell you what, if the guy was a total Chad/Tyrone, he wouldn't even need to pull out the $20. He'd just give you that one look and all of a sudden that top is coming right off with the rest of it. So you gents still out in the dating game out there, watch out for these plays. These women are experts at tapping into your wallet without you knowing it. Moving on.
I got evicted and now I'm living out of my 2011 Honda Pilot that I turned into a micro camper with my 2 dogs. And yeah, we got the knock for the first time last night. For those of you that don't know, the knock is when a popo comes up, knocks on your window, and either tries to figure out what's going on or tells you to leave or whatever. Thankfully, I am in a designated camping spot. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's a rainy day, but that's not the view. The view is... Hold on, can you see it? That's the view right there, the lake. This is a designated camping spot. I have been here on and off for like the past week in designated camping areas like this. You are allowed to stay for 2 consecutive weeks, 14 days. So I'm sure he's seen my bright green trailer and my car here. But it was like 3:30 in the morning. I was dead asleep. The dogs were dead asleep. And if you see these window covers, I had them on all of my windows. So I did not see his headlights coming up. Let me show you. One of the reasons why I picked this site is because you can't see it from the main road, and you do have to drive down this little gravel driveway, and it's a little nice cul-de-sac. So again, thankfully I am in a designated camping spot. Why he knocked on my window at 3:30, I don't know. Maybe he was bored. I will say I don't know how long he was standing outside of my car, but I fell asleep to watching Sex and the City last night. And, you know, when you get the knock, the first thing I do, you know, I hit pause on my phone for the Netflix. And, you know, I didn't open my windows or my window coverings immediately. I just asked who's out there. He said Sheriff's Department of insert city, county, state that I'm in. And so at that point I did peep out. I saw the police vehicle. I felt comfortable opening up my door. Piece of advice: if you get someone knocking on your door, make sure you don't just immediately open your door, because it might not be a popo, and maybe if it is a popo, it's not a good popo. I mean, it can be argued that no popo is a good popo. Anywho, but that's besides the point. Don't just immediately open your door. Make sure that you have some sort of protection. Make sure that the person that is saying they are who they are, actually. Great piece of advice. And one of the reasons why I always have a vehicle with a sunroof is that you can open up your sunroof and be able to speak to people outside of your vehicle without opening a door. If they like spider monkey jump on top of your roof to get inside of your vehicle, I don't think there's anything you could have done to prevent that person from entering your vehicle. But always be safe. Don't just like you wouldn't open the door of your house to a random stranger knocking on the door, hopefully, you do the same thing in your vehicle as well. He did ask some questions like, how long are you staying? You know, is there anybody else in the vehicle with you? Standard questions. You know, and I was truthful. I told him I'm visiting a friend in town. I'm traveling across the country. Do not tell them that you live out of your vehicle. Do not say, this is my home. Do not say that you are homeless, especially with the political climate that's going on right now. I am traveling. I am visiting a friend in town, whether I am or not. And I'm not planning on being here that long. All of that was true. I just omitted certain truths from it.
All right, this girl has just got to point out the not so obvious. This is the reality for all of you women who want to guzzle down that womanist Kool-Aid by the gallon. When I say strong independent, I know all of you were thinking, I'm going to make my own money, I've got my own bag, I'm going to be living in an apartment, living like the Joneses, I'm going to make just as much money as a man, and then I'm going to find a man that makes even more money than that, and he's going to take care of me. Yeah, it don't work like that, sweetheart. You see, being strong and independent has been said a bunch of times on this channel, but I don't think I've actually come out and told you women what it actually means. Or possibly because most of you either found out or are finding out the hard way what it is. But I think it's time for me to say it. Being independent isn't, oh, I'm independent by myself. No, it's a phrase meaning that you're independent of a man. You don't count on a man, so you have to do everything. Now, the word everything is such an oversimplification of the harsh realities of life. Everything doesn't mean all the things are already set out for you and you just have to do them one after the other, and you're going to get them right the first time and there are no downsides to it. No, everything means all of it. The good, the bad. When it's easy, when it's hard, when it's smooth, when it's rough. The whole enchilada. And one of the things that's never mentioned to you femme fatales out there, that's included in everything, is this thing that men do all the time. It's called risk. You women have to take the risk. When you lease out an apartment, like this woman did, and you don't pay the rent because you were unemployed, XY reason, whatever it is, guess what? You're evicted now, and you have a spot on your record. Now it's going to be hard for you to get another lease in the same county, that same town, that same state. And then you end up living out of your car with your dogs, just like this queen. That is a reality. The reason why there's so many more men who are homeless than women is because men take more risk. And it doesn't always pay off, but it's something that men accept as part of the package deal. You want to lead, you want to be successful, you got to take the risk. This woman's whole story, getting her window tapped by the cops, that whole explanation to it, and giving survival tips as to, oh, never tell them you're homeless, yada, yada, yada. This comes with that strong and independent, with that everything. You can end up like this. And this is the reality that the women don't want to show you. The old system, that patriarchy where the man is in control of everything, it was designed to keep you women in a home. The white picket fence with the kids. to keep you protected. And because if a vocal minority decided to yell louder and all of you decided to stay quiet, well, now you get your slice of the independent misery pie. Enjoy it, because it don't come with whipped cream.
Emotional damage!
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.